Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Behind the Curtain. As usual, I'm your host, Pedro DeLuca, and today I am sitting here with Kimber Lee, one of the top up-and-coming women wrestlers on the independent scene. Kimber Lee, the purpose of these Behind the Curtains is to kind of get behind the wrestler in the ring. We know what you can do in the ring, but we want to know what made you who you are today. So first off, how did you get your start in professional wrestling?
Well, I actually am originally from Seattle, so I moved over to the West Coast, or from the West Coast to the East Coast about 4 years ago now. I actually came out here for school. I'd always been a wrestling fan, and it had always been like an idea in the back of my head of something I would want to do, but not something I ever thought I would actually get the chance to do. And then while I was here, I ended up going to an indie show with a friend I had met, and I met DJ Hyde at that show, and he asked me if I wanted to train, and that was kind of history, so I ended up going into the CZW school that way.
Take us a little bit into your training. What was it like training with the CZW crew?
Oh, really, really hard. I remember the first day I trained, I could barely even get up. The next day I was so sore, but totally worth it. I mean, they have a good group of guys there that train you, like a lot of work with Black G's, Drew Gulak, DJ Hyde, of course, Sammy Callahan has helped me out a lot, and lots of various other people. The other guys from CZW, whenever they're there, they help out, and so I feel like I've really learned a lot from that. And also, I was the only girl at the time, and I'm the first girl to ever make it through the CZW school, so they didn't take it easy on me at all, so I kind of got to learn to work like a guy too, which I really am happy for.
After you completed your training with CZW, take us into your first match.
Oh, my first match was actually, it was against Mia Yim, and it actually happened right after I had broken my hand while I was training, so I was out for 8 weeks because of that, and then probably technically wasn't even completely healed yet when the match happened. I still had a brace on my hand. It was for RCW in Maryland, and I was so nervous, but at the same time, like, Mia's somebody I really trust, and it ended up being really good, and she was like, you know, I'll help you through it, it'll be great, and like, it ended up being a really good match, and I did some things I had no idea I could do, and I mean, I look at it now and I'm like, I've gotten so much better, but I'm still really proud of that first one too.
Besides Mia Yim, has there been any other female competitors that kind of taken you under their wing and said, this is what you need to do to progress in your career, or this is what you shouldn't be doing? Is there anyone that really came to you and said, come here kid, I'm going to show you how this is done?
Well, Mia Yim's helped me out a lot, as we said. Annie Social too has been somebody who's helped me a lot. I feel like I grew even from my match last time. There was at Girls Night Out 6 with Jennifer Blake. I feel like she helped me a lot too. So those are the ones that come to me off the top of my head.
As you expand in your career, can you tell us about some of the other places in beyond Combat Zone Wrestling and even AIW, where else you have competed throughout the United States or across the world?
Well, I've competed all through the Philadelphia, Jersey area. I've done some up in New York, but my biggest accomplishment so far is I've gotten to go to Japan, and that was amazing. I was only there for 3 days. I didn't even have time to adjust to the time zone because it was go, 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 go when we got there. But that was an amazing experience, and getting to wrestle in Korakuen Hall, like, just a big deal to be over there, and I'm just so humbled that it happened so early for me, and I really, really want to go back.
Was it any kind of culture shock? I mean, you just said you were, it was go, 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 but was that go, 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 was that kind of a culture shock, whereas on the independents you kind of show up at the building and you wait around and okay, it's time for my match, you go out, compete your match, and you hang out afterwards. But with that go, go, go schedule, was it a culture shock to you?
A little bit. I mean, I've always been one who tries to get to my shows early and like be ready for them, but you're at the dojo like preparing yourself days before, like, and it was just, everyone took it so seriously, and even the way the fans take everything, it's really a respected sport over there, and just seeing that side of it too was so crazy.
Now, you were one of the as I said earlier, one of the top up-and-coming female competitors. Taking that experience from Japan, do you see that same seriousness and dedication? Do you feel that could happen here in the United States as well?
I think it could. I think it would take a lot of work from the girls that are over here that have the serious mentality about it, because, I mean, I know I get sad sometimes when I see the WWE shows and like happen to catch a Raw if I'm not working or something, and just what little like 2 minutes to a minute and a half they give the girls, and like they could do so much more, and like I just hope it will get to a point where the girls get a chance to really show what they're capable of.
What do you see as the current state of women's wrestling? Is it promising? Is it hopeless?
I would say promising. I say definitely it can always change. I think wrestling is always changing and evolving, and it takes the people to come together and change it.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about your stay here in AIW. You've been here for a few Girls' Night Outs now. What has been your general opinion of Absolute Intense Wrestling?
I love it. I'm always very happy to be here. It's one of my favorite shows to do. I'm always excited when I'm like, oh, another Girls' Night Out's coming up. The locker room's great. I like everybody who's here, and you do give us a chance to show what we can do. You are one of the companies that does that, so.
What does the future hold in AIW for Kimber Lee?
Well, I am looking for a win, so there's a win in my future. I know it. That, and I just want to push myself to be the best I can, and maybe someday have that belt.
Well, there you hear it from Kimber Lee herself. She has her eyes on the big pink belt, and who knows, we could be looking at a future AIW Absolute Women's Champion. Kimber Lee, thank you so much for joining me here behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Best of luck tonight, and best of luck in all your endeavors here in professional wrestling. Thank you.